You see, we think that, we own a nice house or a nice car. We're doing something big. Man, I got a nice car. I got a nice house. I got a yacht. I got an airplane. There's people out there that own planets. There's people out there right now, and I do mean people. I ain't talking about no gods, no magical sky daddies with wands. People, flesh and blood people that own planets. There's people out there that own constellations of planets. There's people out there that own stars. There's people that own sectors of a galaxy. They own an entire sector, an entire sector they own. I'm trying to tell you, there's levels to this game. Human beings, what we know as humans, Homo sapiens sapien, new kids on the block. We just arrived. We just arrived, less than a blink of an eye. 200,000 years on geological timescales is less than a blink of an eye. We know nothing. We know zero. We know nothing. We just learned how to tie our shoes, and we can't do that too good either. We can't even tie our shoes that good. I see people with shoelaces out all the time. We can't even do that. We can barely take a good bath. And people walking around with stink booty. We just got here, guys. We just got here. We know nothing. We can barely wipe our mouths and wash our hands properly. There's people that have been here in this universe for millions of years ahead of us. Now think about this. Think about what we did in 100 years, what we actually did. 100 years ago, we were driving in horse, buggy, and carriage. 100 years ago. Fast forward 100 years. We have satellites. We have now thousands of satellites. We have rovers on Mars. We have a satellite probe that's gone into open space in between galaxies right now, right? We have done so much in 100 years, and that's with being held back technologically from the powers that be. That's with them holding us, restricting us. We could have been way more advanced even than that. Between religion and the elites, we should already be traveling like to go see the rings of Saturn on vacation right now. But that's a whole nother podcast, all right? A whole other podcast. But regardless, look where we came even with suppression. Look where we came even with oppression. We came this far in 100 years. Now, magnify that by 1 million years. Because that's how old the Anunnaki were when they came to this earth. They were 1 million years ahead of us already. They were already 1 million years ahead of us when they landed on the earth 450,000 years ago. And for 450,000 years ago, for 250,000 years, according to the tablets, they did the work themselves and left us alone. They didn't even bother with us. And then 200,000 years ago, they decided they were going to mess with us. And they started genetically tinkering with us, and they created the Homo sapiens sapien, which is who we are right now. They did not make us from scratch, from the dust of the earth and all this other crazy foolishness. But what they did was they genetically modified our cousins that were already here and come up with the version we are today. They got us to do the work for them. All the stuff that they were tired themselves of doing, according to their own tablets. They said they were tired of doing the work. They were tired of digging canals and doing hard labor, back-breaking labor. But they genetically modified us and created a worker slave to people that would be enslaved but not even know they were slaves, to do the work for these people. And we replaced them as we grew in number and population. Okay? That's the whole thing behind it.